3-1 lead for LeBron. 17-0 when he is in those situations. What happened to the Warriors? They just had a complete meltdown, and it was their fault. It was Steve Kerr's fault for running that horrible last play against Darvin Ham. The play is literally called the Hammer. And yeah, okay, it's effective, but come on, like the play is named after their coach, and you're playing against LeBron James. You have to run at least some complex possessions to get an open three. And I love Steve Kerr, and I don't want to put too much blame on him because there were some decisions which you could tell that he didn't want his guys to take. But I do believe that that fourth quarter was revealing in so many ways. Like first, Klay Thompson, you are not him. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. All that I'm saying is that, look, he cannot keep taking these horrible shots which put his team in uncomfortable positions. And in my opinion, now they're down 3-1. They came back from this once, but they've lost to this against the same guy who is their opponent. The Lakers get one more home court stay, right? And they're going back to Oracle next game, which is good for the Warriors. But in my opinion, this series is over. Of course, if they actually bring it back, the Warriors, and that would be amazing, and it would be very entertaining. But in my opinion, the Lakers just look like the more complete team. And in my opinion, this season is what's showing that seeding does not matter. And in my opinion, and a lot of people are going to say, what do you mean that seeding does not matter? Because this is why the playing tournament was created. And this is the beautiful thing about basketball. A team which had struggles all year, suffered with injuries, right? Had guys in and out of the lineup, had new coaching jobs. This was the Lakers. What I'm describing now is the Lakers. They removed their entire team at the trade deadline. They took big risks on people who people weren't going to know if they were actually going to be contributors. People called them chokers. People called them whatever. And even if they do not make the finals, right? If they lose in the conference finals, we could definitely see that this team is legit and they have a few more seasons. And what I mean by the regular season doesn't matter is that we could see teams like the Heat and the Lakers, which had struggles all year. With the Heat, it was depth, it was consistent rotations, and it was guys doing what they normally do, right? Like Bam looked awesome, Jimmy looked like Jimmy in the regular season, but they didn't have guys who were consistently getting better in the playoffs. And their veterans are also misconstrued because, let's face it, they have Udonis Haslem, but Udonis Haslem doesn't play games. So when a veteran guy is talking to you and he's saying, yo, let's win this game, and then he's going to sit on the bench for 42 minutes, and when he's talking shit to you, he's saying, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that. It's like, that doesn't move people. Now, they have so many good players, and they have experienced players, and in my opinion, the Heat looks scary in the East, and they're most likely going to make a conference finals too. Personally, I believe that also the Warriors are in trouble. Look, Steve Kerr is an amazing coach, and Steph Curry is an amazing player. But a coach and a player cannot win your playoff series when you're down 3-1. Like, let's be serious. Like, you could win maybe you could win if you just started the series like LeBron used to do, right? But you can't win a championship when you're getting toyed around with and getting in a 3-1 deficit again in the second round against a team which is the 7th seed. I believe that the Warriors, this is the end of their season. This has shown us that they cannot win the championship this season. You know, last season, the people doubted them more, but at least they were fully healthy and they were firing on all cylinders. They always had a lead in their series. And even when the Grizzlies snagged games, the next game, they would just come back stronger. But in my opinion, the Warriors look and they've suffered from the same thing which the Lakers repaired themselves for. You need to have guys who have legs, who can play offense and who can play defense. And you need to have consistent and reliable veterans. Now, both of these teams have consistent and reliable veterans. You have Anthony Davis, LeBron, Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, right? You have Iguodala also. And then you have their coach, Darvin Ham. And then you have Tristan Thompson, which won the ring with LeBron. You have guys. Both of these teams are filled with good vets. But the biggest thing with each of these teams is that the Lakers play defense first and then they play offense. Right? Like the Lakers will win games. It's not because they're like the best offensive team in the league, which the Warriors probably are. Right? Like when their starting five is on the floor, then they're the highest rated starting five of the season, and I think maybe top 3 all time. But that doesn't equate to wins because you don't have depth. With the Lakers, I want to say shout out to Lonnie Walker. He was incredible this game. And he's one of those guys which wasn't getting minutes for the first 3 games. He got a few minutes in the third in this game, and then in the fourth quarter he got played for almost the entire fourth quarter, and he scored 15 points. I want to say that right, you throw LeBron at the 3, then you throw maybe Wenyen Gabriel and Anthony Davis, right? Or Jared Vanderbilt. I'm sorry. You throw Jared Vanderbilt at the 3, LeBron at the 4, and Anthony Davis at the 5. That's a defensive starting 5. It's going to be very on defense, and he's lanky. And Dennis Schroeder is a pest on defense, and he's actually really good at that. If you need offense, then you run D'Lo, Austin Reeves, LeBron, Anthony Davis, and then pick your guy, right? Like, what do you need? You need driving, Lonnie Walker. You need shooting. You run Malik Beasley. Well, I mean, he hasn't been playing that great, but I feel like the Lakers have something special with this team. I don't know if they're going to win the championship. I think that they may be, and I do think that they're the favorites just because they have LeBron and because this team is firing. But I also don't want to overcompensate what they're doing because let's face it, the Grizzlies were never real contenders and they were going to lose before the finals always. And the Warriors, even though they are a real contender, people knew coming into the season that they had big deficiencies which they hadn't fixed. Like letting go of Gary Payton, to then bring in Dante DiVincenzo, to then bring in Gary Payton back, but lose all of your healthy defensive veterans in the way, right? And also let go of a bunch of your players and have to play Kevon Looney, which is normally your 6th man, as a starter for so many minutes. That takes a toll on your team. Kevon Looney has been great, but he's been underperforming because he's just not used to playing that many minutes. His body can't take it. Kevon Looney's a specialist. And we need to start treating him like one because that's what he is, and he's phenomenal to a championship team. I believe the Warriors are going to lose this series, and I believe that from the start. I just didn't know if the Lakers could produce enough offense to keep up with the Warriors, but it just seems like even though the Warriors are great at offense, they just haven't been able to produce that consistently. I want to see how this series pans out, and I also want to see what the conference finals looks like. Tonight we got a few games, which I'm excited to see. Right, we have Philly Boston and Phoenix Denver, which are both 2-2 series, and honestly, those could swing the tide to who's gonna win those series. I do believe that Denver's gonna win tonight, just because they're gonna be at home and Denver is altitude based, and that throws off opposing teams. Also, that they play much better at home, and I do believe Philly's gonna win tonight. I feel like they've been on a streak, and I feel like Embiid finally figured out how to score on the Celtics. how to be aggressive enough, and I feel like he finally turned on his motor. But yeah, I do believe that the playoffs are getting very interesting. They're very close, and this is a hot take, but I believe that you could take any combination of any of the teams which are in the playoffs right now, and it would be a good matchup, right? If you want to do Knicks Nuggets, right, or Phoenix Boston, Phoenix Philly, Phoenix Miami, Lakers Miami, Warriors Miami, and Warriors Celtics, like any combination of teams in the playoffs right now would make an all-time great finals. Better than what we've seen for the past probably 4 years, and that's not to disrespect anything. Probably even more than that, that those Warriors KD finals weren't that good because they were too easy. The Raptors finals, they were good, but not that much. And the 2020 finals was good, like in terms of it was good basketball. It was just in the bubble. But 2021, that was a pretty good finals, but it was injury prone the entire playoffs. And it's not to put that an asterisk, I'm just thinking. And last year's finals were good, but it was like, I believe that this year's finals will be something special. I'm going to stay tuned, honestly.